This is a Dodge V10. This is a Dodge Dakota, and we're going to put the Dodge V10 into Dodge Dakota, but before we do, I wanted to install the world's longest camshaft. However, we can't. We've hit a snag, and this might be a short one. So we've been working on this thing for quite some time now, and I really thought we were finally going to hit a point where it just starts taking off, and before you know it, it'll be running. And well, we hit a snag, and it has to do with our valve spring. So I'm going to explain that here shortly and what's going on. This might be a pretty quick video. Additionally, it's been a couple weeks since I've put out a video, and I'll address that at the end if you're interested. But let's get to the nitty-gritty and show you guys what's going on with the valve springs. Anytime you're considering installing a new camshaft in your engine, likely you're going to be upgrading it, and if you are upgrading it, it's recommended that you change the valve springs out as well. In our case, this is our factory Magnum V10 valve spring, and it's what we call a beehive valve spring. It's fatter on the bottom, it's thinner on top, and it kind of looks like a beehive. One thing to note on this is that these have a flat surface at the bottom, and because the Magnum V10 has cast iron cylinder heads, it can actually just go on the machine surface of the cylinder head. However, when you buy a camshaft kit, it usually comes with the camshaft that you're going to be using. We bought a Crowler camshaft kit and a valve spring kit. It's nice to buy them like this because they're a match set. You know that the spring is going to work with the camshaft and not bind and all that fun stuff. That if you're not a engine wizard, they've done the math for you. However, we're in a little bit of predicament here because Crowler sent us a dual valve spring kit. What's a dual valve spring? Well, it looks like this when it's assembled. But what it is actually a spring inside another spring. One thing that we're going to look at is the fact that it no longer looks like a beehive. Additionally, if we put it on upside down, you're going to notice that this hole here is much bigger than this hole here because of the second spring. Because of that, they send what I'm going to call a seat. It's not a valve seat, but it's a spring seat. And this is supposed to be put in place to help locate the spring on the cylinder head before you put it down with the retainer. Well, we got a problem. Let's go look at the engine and we'll show you what the problem is. I've already pulled the factory springs and retainers and valve seals off of these two front valves here. You can see that there's a shoulder here that is about almost half an inch above, or at least quarter of an inch above the seat here. And what that does is it helps locate our beehive valve spring. Well, let's look at it with the dual valve spring. Remember, we have a smaller diameter here. If we try to put our valve spring directly on the valve, well, that locator in the middle there is preventing it from hitting the seat. A better way to show you guys that is to take the inner spring from the dual valve spring, and you can see it's pretty much the same diameter as that locator. We have to remember another thing is they actually sent these locators, these aftermarket locators that come with the spring kit, and they're supposed to sit flat against the cylinder head and provide a surface for the dual valve spring to go on and locate the spring. The problem is they're not going to sit flat because of that shoulder again. So essentially the cylinder heads have to come off to fix this problem, and to either we would buy a tool that would grind down the shoulder and then grind down a little bit of the seat to get this to sit flush, or you take them to a machine shop where they do it as well. But if I were to do this, I would take it to a machine shop because they could be much more precise and check the valve last and to make sure we're not going to have coil bind and all that fun stuff that I don't know much about. So with that information, we know that, well, unfortunately, the spring kit that comes with the camshaft from Crowler is not a bolt-on application. But what we do know is this valve spring here, if you look up the part number for a V10 or a Magnum 5.9 or a Magnum 5.2, it's all the same valve spring. So in theory, if we can find another beehive set of springs that are going to work with this motor, it should be a bolt-in process. But what we're having to find out is A lot of places are out of this spring because it's the whole Magnum conundrum that I don't know if I've explained to you guys yet, but aftermarket stuff for these motors are very, very hard to find. 5.2, 5.9, V10 stuff. It's just kind of, for some reason, the demand is not there. They don't make a whole bunch of them. So I imagine when they make kits for these, they sell out pretty quick, and then you have to wait for them to make another batch. But that's our plan. We're going to try to do some more research, find a good part number for a valve spring that's going to match this cam. Again, this cam only has about 474 lift or so. So it's not a super big cam. So as long as we find something that may hold up to a 500 lift, beehive spring, drop-in application, we're going to be okay. But we got to do that first. So I think that's going to be our plan. And I'm sorry that we're not making any more progress on the truck at the moment. So that's why we're at a standstill. It's a whole parts debacle, but I think I'm planning to get it all figured out. Hopefully within the next week, I can get on the phone, find the parts we need, and get them here so we can get back cooking on this thing. I can probably do some things in between, and I may do that here shortly. But if you watch the channel very often, you probably realize that it's been a month since I put a video out. And this is a short video. Well, that's because on the weekends that I've been off, I haven't been able to get out here. I've been working on my mom's house that needs some attention. So there's some projects over there that take precedent well over the YouTube channel. Got to take care of mom. Hopefully that stuff's done in the next couple weekends, and then I can really get back out here and get after it. So I'm not quitting. The project's still going. We're going to get this thing done. We're going to get it running. Once this motor is in there for good, I really think the project's just really going to accelerate, because I know these trucks so well that we can get all the plumbing and the wiring and stuff figured out, and we can start making some steam and doing a lot of burnouts, because that's going to be a blast. So thank you guys for being patient. If you're new to the channel and you like this project and you want to see it to completion, please consider subscribing. We'd love to have you guys along, as well as I try to do some updates on Instagram and Facebook. I should probably try to do more when we have these periods that I don't have videos out. So I'm going to promise you guys I'm going to do that. But if you want to check that out, that's at the Racer X Garage. And I just want to say it one more time. Thank you guys so much for supporting us, and we'll see you next time. Until next time, y'all be good.